Love is our most potent medicine. Of all the substances on the earth, of all of the plants and the minerals and all of the things here on this planet, the most potent medicine for us is love. Now, I know that this is a thing, love, that can be so challenging for so many people. In fact, just the other day, I was in my Love Rising group, and one of the people in it said to me, Briana, how is it that you love everyone? How is it that you love us this much? How did you learn to love so greatly? And this is exactly what I want to talk with you about today. I'm Briana Borten, and I help people awaken to their highest selves. Subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get alerted when I post a new video every Monday. So I want to share what I shared with this client in Love Rising about love. How do you learn to love? It isn't actually about learning to love. It's about learning or healing the places inside of us that have closed down, that have shut off. It's about learning to open what we've closed. So I believe that we really start just open, full of love. And we are taught and shown, and we have experiences that close us down. And we close down our hearts, and we close down our love because we're afraid of being hurt, because we are afraid of being vulnerable, because we are afraid of what will happen if we are just open-hearted. What will happen? Now, I think that there is a misconception that if we are open-hearted and full of love, that we don't have boundaries, that we then just get walked all over all the time, or that we aren't discerning about where we put our time, attention, our bodies, our words, that we would just basically be doormats for the world. Now, this is hugely untrue. In fact, I find that it's actually a miscalculated closing that usually leads us into those places. It's that we closed in like kind of places that made it more challenging for us to see something, to have our intuition there, to allow ourselves to care for ourselves. So one of the places where we close down love a lot is toward ourselves, because we're within this being. And so we've done things that we wish we hadn't done. We've said things in silly ways. We've done stupid things, right? That's human life. We do this. And so then we judge that part of ourselves and close down love. Not that part. No, not that part. You can't be here. And then we have all these pieces of us that exist, right? We have the part of us that makes bad decisions, and we have the parts of us that make mistakes, and we have the parts of us that say silly things, right? We have all of that within us. But if we close down love to those parts in order to try to control them, then what happens is that we make decisions from a place of usually trying to feel acceptance, love, approval from the world. And this is actually more likely to lead to us being like doormats, like being, undiscerning, leading ourselves into places where we may find ourselves being hurt or all of those things. Now, does it mean that if you're full of love, always open, that you'll never be hurt? No, unfortunately not. But it does mean that if we don't close around it, if we don't close when that happens, it flows through. It doesn't get caught inside. It doesn't get jammed up in there, right? Creating more stagnation, more closed offness, which creates big challenges for us in our lives. Because then when we go to enter into relationships, we find it challenging to allow love in, to allow love out. We go to create businesses, and we find it hard to know how to navigate interactions with other people, or we judge ourselves really harshly when we aren't as successful as we want to be, right? So there's all of these places where we can look and see, ooh, what's there? What's there? Where have I closed? Where am I not letting love in? Where am I not opening? Because love is inclusive. Love is like the sun. It shines and it just shines. It doesn't say, not that, not that, not that, not that, not that. No, the sun's just like, I'm here, I'm shining. If you have shade, you have shade. But I didn't create the shade, I created the sun. I am the sun, I create the rays. If you create shade, you've created that for yourself. I am just shining. And that is exactly how love works. It is just pervasive. It is everywhere, inclusive, always. And so if it isn't in a nook or cranny inside, it's because we've closed it off. We've shaded it instead of allowing it to be illuminated. So the main thing is just noticing those places, really getting curious. What's in there? Where is that little place in me? Where do I not allow love? Why do I not allow it? And seeing if you can bring love even to that. Oh, I don't bring love into that place because I judge. Okay, can you love that there's judgment there? Can you love your judgy part? Maybe you don't love that there's judgment there, but you can love the part that is the judginess. Does that make sense? So we're loving that piece of ourselves. Oh yes, I can hold you in love. Yes, I can hold that part of me in love too. And as we start to include all of the parts within ourselves, loving the entirety of who we are, and then we start to include others in that as well. I can include you in love. I can include the mailman in love. I can include, the cashier at the store in love. Everyone can be held in love. And if they don't receive it, it's like, I'm just the sun. I just am providing the love. Whether you receive it or don't receive it, that is like for us to each look at individually. In fact, I sign a lot of my emails like to people, love Briana. And I had this woman respond to me and say, you don't love me. You couldn't love me. And I was like, I do love you. She's like, prove it. I was like, okay, I just did because I told you. And there isn't any proving to have happened. I can just love you. She said, but you don't know me. I said, I know enough about you. I know enough about all humans to love them. I can love you. Now, does that mean I necessarily want everyone in my life? No, because like I said before, loving unconditionally, which is actually the state of love is unconditional. Loving unconditionally does not mean not having boundaries, right? It doesn't mean not being discerning. I can have boundaries and still be loving. It's loving to me, loving to you. How do I have a boundary there? It looks like this. But holding myself in love and you in love then creates my actions from a place that flow, really, truly flow with the vibration of the universe. And when my actions flow with the vibration of the universe, I'm led, right? I'm led into how to hold you, how to care for you, how to hold myself, how to care for myself, how to honor our relationship, how to move forward. Love is our natural state. It is absolutely who we are. And we get to be on a great exploration of uncovering, unveiling, and allowing that to come forward and that to be touched and met in every piece of ourselves. This heals all of the little places inside of us that we've kept hidden and in shadow and in shame. This heals the world. This heals the way we hold others. This heals the way that we hold our differences. This heals the way in which we interact with one another. This heals the way we feel about the planet. Love is the most potent medicine. Let's be the ones who bring it forward. You, me, us, let's do it. We are the ones. You are so capable of this, and I know it might feel distant right now. And I just want to tell you that it's going to be distant and feel challenging until it doesn't. You just have to keep moving toward it. Even if it's a little piece at a time, even if it's just a little bit at a time, to see where can you bring more love. And maybe the first place is to just start internally, to look inside yourself and see where you can allow more love for you, to you, of you. Where can you be more inclusive? Love is pervasive and inclusive all ways and in all places, and we can do this. If you liked this video and it helped you, please like it, subscribe, share it with somebody, maybe somebody you love, maybe somebody who you want to see love themselves more and bring more of this healing medicine to their lives. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful to get to share these conversations with you, and I'll talk to you soon.